Welcome to our Global Hand Washing Day event. Thank you for joining us. We welcome anyone and everyone who works to teach others about the importance of proper hand washing to good health. Welcome on behalf of the Partnership for Food Safety Education. Next, I am Executive Director of the Partnership. My name is Shelley Feist. And it was our pleasure to bring you a live event on World Food Safety Day and now on Global Hand Washing Day. We have a really terrific lineup, which I want to go over with you now. You are going to have a real treat. We've got a lot of cool stuff going. First, Dr. Mindy Brashears will have a message for you that includes information about observational research, the latest research we have on how consumers behave when they're handling food. With their hand washing. We also have with us Ashley Andújar. She's going to talk about a new hand washing campaign from the CDC, which is very exciting. All kinds of great resources for you. Dr. David Berendes has a message from the Jolly Elementary School for us today about hand washing and some very cool ways you might teach kids about hand washing. Same goes for some very sweet students from Bruce-Munroe at Parkview Elementary School. These are actually preschool or four-year-old kids in a Spanish immersion school here in Washington, D.C. And they're celebrating clean hands with us today. We have Glenda Hyde. Some of you may know about Glenda's work on high-speed hand washing. She has presented at the Consumer Education Conference. And this is a fantastic technique that you're going to want to try with the groups of people you teach about hand washing. Finally, we're going to keep a clean scene with a fantastic new video from the Partnership. It's a shareable video in English and Spanish, and that's what we'll use to move to our wrap-up. So I want to encourage all of you, if you're participating today, participate with your camera so we can see you. We'd love to see you. We also want you to share, when we have a period, we'll talk about chat, because we want to get your information about what you do to encourage proper hand washing, some of your programming techniques, and we are going to do follow-up email to all of you where we will share some of that. So when we come to chat or at any time during the broadcast, feel free to share in chat. And then after the webinar, you'll get a brief survey. Please fill that out. It helps us enormously. Continuing education units, I know, are very important to many of you, and we're very happy to offer these from ANFP, CDR, and NEHA. You'll get a link in your follow-up email to get to the CEU certificates. And also when this event posts to our recorded webinars page, you'll also be able to download the CEU certificates there. So please watch for those. Michelle, I'm seeing a box on the far right, a black box, but maybe that's not a problem for anyone else. Let's move into a message from Dr. Brashears. Dr. Mindy Brashears is quite new at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. She's Deputy Undersecretary for Food Safety, and as many of you know, she has a background in food safety that's very deep. We are very pleased to have her join us today with a video message about hand washing. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mindy Brashears, and I'm the Deputy Undersecretary for Food Safety at the United States Department of Agriculture. Thank you for participating in this important webinar. Each year, billions of pounds of meat, poultry, and processed egg products are produced, sold, and transported across the globe. A system of this magnitude requires extreme vigilance to make sure we prevent contamination with foodborne pathogens. Millions of people each year get sick, and some even lose their lives due to contamination with these pathogens. Fortunately, there's one very important step that you can follow to prevent foodborne illness, and that is washing your hands properly. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service is responsible for meat, poultry, and processed egg products to make sure that they are safe, wholesome, and properly labeled. We have partnered with RTI International and NC State University to conduct consumer behavior studies in a test kitchen to observe hand washing and other consumer behaviors. Unfortunately, in the study, we found that 74% of our participants did not properly wash their hands during food preparation. And that means 26% didn't even attempt to wash their hands at all. This should be a wake-up call to the home cook, because we know that improper hand washing is directly linked to foodborne illnesses. Proper hand washing can prevent foodborne illnesses because your hands can become a vector for carrying foodborne pathogens around the kitchen. This is especially important when you handle raw meat and poultry products. To wash your hands properly, we have 5 steps. Number 1, wet your hands and add soap. Number 2, lather your hands. Number 3, and this step is important because this is where we fall short, and this is scrubbing your hands. This step should last at least 20 seconds. If you need a timer, simply hum "Happy Birthday" 2 times. During this step, it's important to get in between your fingers, around your fingernails, and around your wrists in order to get all places where foodborne pathogens may be present. Number 4, rinse your hands with clean water. And step number 5, dry your hands with a clean towel. These 5 steps can go a long way in preventing foodborne illness. Our consumer behavior studies show that we have a long way to go in hand washing and teaching people how to properly wash their hands. Webinars like this can be very beneficial in educating people across the nation and maybe even across the globe. I challenge you to do your part in making sure you wash your hands properly before, during, and after food preparation. And remind your friends and family to follow our 5 steps: wet, lather, scrub, rinse, and dry. Thank you so much for participating today, and thank you for helping us achieve our mission to do right and feed everyone safely.
Well, I love her call to action, and I think that's why we're all here, because we know how important hand washing is to food safety, but also to control of all infectious diseases. Our partner at the CDC has some of the most fantastic programming about food safety, also about hand hygiene. We have with us today Ashley and Andújar Rodriguez. I'm also going to announce the video we're going to show afterwards. So we'll move right from Ashley into the video. Ashley is a health communication specialist. She's currently the team lead for the health promotion and communications team within the Waterborne Disease Prevention Branch in the Division of Foodborne, Waterborne, and Environmental Diseases at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In this role, she leads the strategic planning and direction of communication campaigns for a wide range of observances, including Global Hand Washing Day, Healthy and Safe Swimming Week, and Contact Lens Health Week. Ms. Andújar obtained a master's degree in Health Services Administration from the Graduate School of Public Health at the University of Puerto Rico and a bachelor's degree in marketing from the University of Puerto Rico. And following Ashley, we'll see the video from Dr. Berendes. David Berendes is an interdisciplinary epidemiologist on the Global Water Sanitation and Hygiene team of the Waterborne Disease Prevention Branch at CDC. And he also serves as the hand hygiene subject matter expert, both domestic and global. He has a BS in cell and molecular biology from Duke, and both an MSPH in global epidemiology and a PhD in environmental health sciences from Emory University. So please welcome our partners from the CDC. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, and thank you, Shelley. We're very excited to talk to you all today about CDC's new hand washing campaign. This is a new campaign called Life is Better with Clean Hands, and we're actually launching it officially today. So we're really excited to be presenting all of the resources to you. And throughout this presentation, I'll be going through all the health promotion materials that we now have available as part of this launch, and I'll be providing you with some ideas that you could use to promote campaign resources within your community so that you can help us raise awareness of the importance of hand washing within your networks. So next slide, please. So first off, I want to get started with a quick background on the campaign and the why we're doing it. So we all know, and like we heard from Dr. Brashears, that hand washing rates remain low. We know that in community settings, people could be washing their hands, more than they are doing it currently. So we developed this campaign with the objective of reminding adults of the importance of washing their hands after they use the bathroom, particularly when they are on the go and using public restrooms, and when they're particularly preparing food at home. So with this campaign, we're targeting parents because we know that parents are key and they're a role model to their children. So we want to engage them, and if parents have children that are younger than 11 years old, that's where a lot of the teachable moments occur. So we want to provide materials and resources that can help parents teach those hand hygiene habits early on so that they can become a habit throughout the kid's life. So we developed this campaign by conducting formative research, and we grounded it in behavioral theory. We collected data from 2 rounds of focus groups, and all of that information helped us get a better understanding of what are some of the common barriers and the motivators that people face when they're washing their hands. And what are they thinking about when they're out there using a public restroom or when they're preparing food at home? And all of that feedback we use to develop the messages that you'll see throughout the campaign, and it also helped us produce the look and feel of the campaign. So next slide, please. All right, so I'll be showing you all the health promotion materials throughout the presentation, and you can go to cdc.gov/handwashing to download everything, and you'll see on each slide kind of like the URL where you can download it. But this is the first resource that I wanted to share with you. It's a partner toolkit that we developed to encourage the public, health organizations, health educators, if you're a teacher, just anyone that wants to educate and promote hand washing within their communities. And we list out, promotion and outreach suggestions. We have sample social media messages that people can copy and paste and use on their handles. We give people also blurbs and just like sample newsletter announcements that they can use within their platforms. And we also provide a list of online resources. So this is available in our site right now. And next slide, please. So we also developed a suite of 4 posters that are available in sizes 11 by 17, and anyone can order it for free via CDC Info on Demand. If you go to the cdc.gov/handwashing website, you can get the link to make those orders for free. And these posters, the idea is that they can be hung up in male and female bathrooms. This one in particular, it's actually double-sided, so people can use it to their convenience. In the next slide, I'm going to show you other posters that can be hung up in break rooms. They can be put up in kitchen areas and office settings, any settings where parents frequent with their kids. And as I said, these are all available for free. And one of the things that I wanted to point out in terms of messaging for our campaign is that our materials are very easy to read. We have very simple messaging. We use colorful tones that remind people of hand washing. And one of the things that we heard from the focus groups is that people want to see other people washing hands. They want to see other people smiling, and they want to see the actual action. So you'll notice that we use some yellow circles and some sparkles like throughout our materials, and this is really good information that we got from the focus groups. Next slide. So we also want to, like I said, have materials for parents to teach good habits to children very early on. So we created new fact sheets that are also available on our website. We also have a second fact sheet that talks about the when and the how to wash hands. And like Dr. Brashears mentioned, you know, the 5 steps are very important, so we highlight those in these fact sheets. Next slide. So starting today, be on the lookout for CDC's social media messages that you can share from our main platforms. If you go to Facebook, search for the CDC account, at cdc.gov on Twitter and Instagram, and like I said, you can retweet or you can create your own messages, and just make sure you use the hashtag #KeepHandsClean. And in the next slide, I'll present some graphics that are available. We created images that are available for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the idea is that they're already optimized and anyone can use it within their handle. Next slide. So we also created some web banners in 2 different sizes that organizations can use within their website. The badges are very easy to add to any site, blog, or any digital platform. If you go to our campaign page, you just copy and paste the code, and you can drive users to our hand washing website for more information. Next slide. And we also created some stickers, and they're available in 5 by 3 inches. And we created some mirror clings that are a little bit larger, 10 by 6. And the idea is that anyone can print it and they can hang it up in windows or bathroom mirrors. You know, if you're in a school, you can use the stickers to give out to kids and raise awareness that way. And we also created 4 audio public service announcements. So to anyone that has access to radio stations or a podcast, feel free to download. This is completely free and available on our website. And they are in 15 seconds and 30-second formats. And we target our both, audiences. We have one for the general public and another one for parents. Next slide. So as part of this campaign, we'll be, heavily promoting it throughout the rest of the year, and particularly around flu season, which is around the corner. So we'll be, pushing out constant messaging on social media, on our, we have a campaign newsletter. And if you don't already receive information from CDC, I would encourage you to go to our cdc.gov/handwashing homepage. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, check out that box that says get email updates, and you can put your email address in there and start receiving information that we send out. Next slide. So this is the campaign page where you'll find all the information and the resources that I covered here today. This is going to be an ongoing campaign for us, so we're already thinking of things that we're going to add on to it and to expand out. So just be on the lookout and, have this page as a bookmark if you're very interested in hand washing. And then if you own an organizational site and if you're interested in having CDC content within it, there's something called syndication, web syndication, and you can actually go to CDC's Public Health Media Library And what you do is you work with your web developer and you kind of, grab the HTML code and you put that on your site so that way you'll always have CDC's most up-to-date content on your site. Next slide. And last but not least, all of the materials we have available in Spanish. So if anyone is doing awareness or wants to reach out to Hispanic Latino communities, all the information is also going to be in Spanish. Next slide. So this is my contact information. My email address is andujar1@cdc.gov. If you're interested in having more information on anything that I mentioned, feel free to reach out. We are very excited to be launching this today, and we are always open to partnering and to hearing from people and getting their feedback on everything. So thank you for your support as you spread the word for clean hands. So now with that, I'm going to turn it over so that we can watch a video that my colleague, Dr. David Berendes, made. And he's the CDC hand washing expert. And he recently provided a hand washing demonstration at Jolly Elementary School here in Atlanta. So let's go ahead and check out that video.
Hey guys, I'm David Berendes. I'm a health scientist at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And today is Global Hand Washing Day, a day to celebrate the clean hands throughout the world. We're here at Jolly Elementary School to talk about the importance of having clean hands and washing our hands with soap and water. So germs are all around us. They're on our clothes, they're on the table we sit at and eat at, they're on our hands also, which is really, the really important part. So when we get germs on our hands and we don't actually wash our hands, we can pass those germs on to others and make people sick. So hand washing with soap and water is actually one of the best things we can do to prevent others from getting sick and prevent ourselves from getting sick. So can anyone tell me what are the key times when we should wash our hands? Eric?
After you use the restroom.
After you use the restroom, awesome. Samia? After you eat, okay? Javon?
After you're done playing outside.
After playing outside. Lillian?
Before you eat.
Before you eat.
After doing a dirty activity.
After doing a dirty activity. Any other times? Yeah.
After cleaning up something.
After cleaning up something, yeah, that's an important one. Right?
After painting.
After painting, yeah, that'd be a good time to clean up too. Yes?
After when you're done cleaning the dishes.
After cleaning the dishes, that'd be good too. Samia?
After touching anybody.
After touching people, yeah. So I think you guys got most of the important times. But just to recap, the most important times that we want to wash our hands are after we use the restroom, after touching our animals or cleaning up their poop or something, and before we eat, like you guys said, and before prepping food, things like that. Now that we've talked a little bit about why we should wash our hands, let's talk about how you actually should wash your hands properly. There's 5 easy steps that you guys probably already know and have done all the time. Those 5 steps are wetting your hands, rubbing the soap on them, scrubbing them for 20 seconds, rinsing them off, and then drying them. So now we're going to do our hand washing competition. So Samia and Eric, you guys are going to be my volunteers and help me with this. So you guys want to come up? All right. So we've got some paint that we're going to use and pretend these are our germs. So I want you guys to take this and over the sink carefully, just get your hands really dirty with those germs. So rub it all over your hands. Let's pretend that we can see those little invisible microbes. All right. So now that we've got our hands nice and dirty, Samia is going to wash her hands using soap and water. Eric, you're going to wash your hands with water only. When I tell you to, you guys are going to wash your hands, and then the rest of us, we're going to remind them of the steps, and then when they get to the scrubbing part, we're going to sing Happy Birthday twice to help them remember how long to scrub their hands, okay? All right. To your sinks. Ready, set, go. All right, get those hands wet. All right, now get the soap on those, Samia. Yep. Now we're going to scrub, 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 so let's sing the Happy Birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samia. Happy birthday to you. One more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you. All right, so let's rinse them off and then use a clean towel to dry them off. All right. Here you go, Samia. All right. So let's see those hands. So Samia, you did an awesome job washing your hands. I think you got most of the paint off. You had a little bit left there, but you did a really good job. You got pretty much all that paint off. Eric, you did a great job also. You got most of this off. You had a little bit left in the crevices of your palm and the fingernails, those hard to reach places. So what did you guys learn from this demonstration?
Use soap.
Use soap, yeah. So soap is super important for us to use because soap is what helps us get under those crevices and under our fingernails, all those places that germs like to hide, and get it out of there. Thanks for helping us with that demonstration. So remember, washing your hands with soap and water is one of the most important things you can do to prevent yourself and others from getting sick. So I hope you learned a little bit about hand washing today. And from all of us here, Happy Global Hand Washing Day!
I think it's so much fun to see kids in class doing a hand washing activity. So we thank Dr. Berendes for doing that and showing it to us. I'd like to encourage you now to submit some information by chat. Is my audio okay? I'm hearing a funny sound. Please send by chat anything you're doing to celebrate Global Hand Washing Day, anything you do on an ongoing basis to teach others of any age about hand washing. What we want to do is gather these stories from you today, and we're going to send some of them back to you in a follow-up email. I think that we're all looking for new ideas and creative ways to encourage proper hand washing. And everything we see from the data that Dr. Brashears talked about tells us that even people who are washing their hands aren't doing it properly and therefore may be risking transmission of disease or risking a foodborne illness. So let's share that information, put it in chat, and we will we'll get some of those ideas back to you. And as Ashley said, we're really going to be working on promoting hand washing. So it's great for us to know what you do that works. Happy to pass it along. Next, we are going to go to a terrific elementary school here in the Washington, D.C. area. Say hola to the students and the teachers at Bruce-Munroe at Parkview Elementary. Miss Elizabeth and Ms. Stephanie are going to show us how they use Glow Germ Lotion to show the kids more about the germs on their hands and also model good hand washing behavior for the kids. Here we go, and thank you.
La luz especial. Vamos a tomar turnos y vamos a ver qué pasó con nuestras manos y a ver qué podemos mirar. ¿Estamos listos?
¿Estás listo, Abraham?
¿Estás listo, Abraham?
Sí.
Vamos a mirar. Pon tus manos hacia la luz y muéstranos. ¿Qué pasó con tus manos?
Aquí.
¿Qué hay en tus manos?
Gérmenes.
¿Gérmenes? Y voltea la manito a ver cómo están. ¿Dónde están? Los gérmenes están en qué parte de tu mano. Arriba. Uy. ¿Tiene muchos gérmenes en dónde? En la palma de la mano. Vamos a ver las manos de tus amigos. Alía. Alía, ¿estás lista? Vamos a ver las manos de Alía. Alía, ¿qué pasa con tus manos? Wow. ¿Estás llena de gérmenes? ¿Y quién puede ver la carita de Alía? ¿Qué le pasó a la carita de Alía?
Tiene la cara de Alía.
¿Por qué?
Porque cuando está en la casa tiene gérmenes.
David.
¿Qué hizo la Alía? Miren,
¿Qué hizo Alía con las manos?
En su cara.
Tocó su cara. Entonces, habían gérmenes en las manos y los gérmenes se pasaron ¿a dónde?
Cara.
A la cara. Miremos las manos de Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth. Oh, ¿qué pasaron con tus manos, Miss Elizabeth?
se ven sucias.
Muy sucias. ¿Y tus uñas?
También.
Mira las uñas de Miss Elizabeth. Están llenas de
gérmenes.
Miremos las manos de David. ¿Estás listo, David? Ven a la luz. Muéstranos tus manos. ¡Oh! ¿Qué pasó con tus manos, David? Voltea la mano. ¡Uy, mira! Y mira tus uñas.
Yo tengo gérmenes en mi ropa también.
Oh. ¿Qué pasó con tu ropa?
Con gérmenes.
¿Por qué?
Sí, sin la
Porque
luz
yo
no se ve,
estoy
¿verdad?
haciendo
Pero la luz
mucho
vemos.
crema.
¿Y moviste las manitos hacia la ropa y se pasaron los gérmenes en la ropa? Eso pasa con los gérmenes en la vida real. Regresa a tu puesto y vamos a ver a Laila. Vamos a preguntarle a Laila, a ver, Laila, ¿qué le pasó en las manos de Laila? Ven, David, siéntate,
Ahorita
David.
vamos a ir.
Laila, muéstranos tus manos. Vamos a ver las manos de Laila.
Vamos a enseñarte cómo
¿Qué pasó con tus manos, Laila?
Hay sucias.
Están muy sucias.
Y estas son muy sucias.
Se ven muy sucias nuestras manos. Y mira las manos de Miss Stephanie.
Mira mi cara.
Mira incluso lo que pasó con mi anillo. ¿Qué le pasó a mi
Mira
anillo?
ropa.
Hay gérmenes en mi anillo. Los gérmenes pueden estar en todas partes. Mira mi anillo, cómo se pasaron los gérmenes. En tu nariz, en todas partes. Por eso, ¿qué tenemos que hacer
Ya varias manos.
para decirle adiós a los gérmenes? Lavar las manos. ¿Estamos listos para lavar las manos y ver qué pasa? Vamos a irnos a lavar las manos. ¿Cómo nos lavamos las manos?
Ok, primero David, tengo que mojarme las manos. Entonces voy a encender la llave con poquita agua y me mojo las manos.
Wow.
Mucha agua, Miss Elizabeth.
Me mojo las manos.
Elizabeth.
Y ahora tengo que poner ¿qué?
Jabón.
Jabón. Me pongo el jabón. Y voy a poner, me tengo que lavar bien las manos, ¿verdad, Abraham? Mire, me lo lavo arriba. La otra mano, Abraham. Abraham, mire, tenía sucio mis uñas también. Tengo que lavarme las uñas. Palma a palma, ¿verdad? Estoy dando cosquillas a mis manitos. Y ahora, ¿qué hago? Ahora me tengo que enjuagar el jabón.
Abraham, mira Miss Elizabeth.
Ya terminé. Abraham, ¿ahora qué hago? Ya terminé.
Miss Elizabeth?
Necesito papel, pero David, no voy a tocar esto todavía.
No sé si
Voy a agarrar
todavía.
papel,
Papel. Mira lo que es Miss Elizabeth.
me seco las manos.
Muy bien.
¿Y qué hago con mi papel?
¿Qué es eso,
¿Qué
Laila?
hago?
Mira,
David.
David.
Uso mi papel para apagar el agua.
Cierra.
¿Y ahora? A la
A la
basura.
basura.
¡Yay!
Vamos
Ya hice
a ver
buen
quién está
trabajo.
listo. Gracias, Miss Elizabeth. Uy, David, ¿cuál es
Ese
lo
es
primero que
primero.
tenemos que hacer?
Ese es el primero. No, el jabón. Primero encendemos
son
el agua.
Abraham, ven aquí. Ven aquí.
Vamos a mojar las manos
Presta
primero.
atención a Miss Elizabeth.
A mojar nuestras manos.
¿Cómo se lavan las manos?
Mojar todo
Vamos a ver si el día está lista. Ven aquí,
bien.
ven aquí.
Ahora, ¿qué necesitan? El jabón. Ahora se aplica el jabón.
¿Te ayudo? ¿Tú puedes? Muy bien. Abraham.
Ok. Muy bien. Vas a poner el jabón en todos tus... en tus uñas. Yo veo que estás limpiando tus manos y tus uñas. Ok, David ya está listo para enjuagar. Ahora, ¿qué necesitas para secar tus manos, David? David, ¿qué necesitas para secarte las manos? ¿El papel? ¿O todavía no? El agua te queda. Necesitas papel. 2 manos. Muy bien. Te vas a secar tus manos. Y usando el papel vas a apagar el agua. Perfecto. Muy bien.
So we thank so much the kids from Bruce-Munroe for being with us. I'm pleased now to introduce Glenda Hyde. She's Associate Professor of Practice. She served the Oregon State University Extension Family and Community Health County faculty in the field of food safety and preservation and nutrition since 2007. And safety and accidental injury prevention since 2015. Her journal articles include High-Speed Hand Washing Builds Healthy Habits and Food Preservation, Technology-Based Approaches to Reach Diverse Audiences. She also contributes food safety posts to the Oregon State University Food Preservation Facebook page. Right after we hear from Glenda about high-speed hand washing, we'll go straight to the video I told you about called Keeping a Clean Scene. We made today compact and stuffed full of great ideas for you so that we'd have you off of here within an hour and ready to go do your own outreach. So after Glenda's presentation, we'll go straight to that video and I'll do the wrap up. Thank you, Glenda, for being with us today from the West Coast. Happy to have you with us.
Thank you, and hello, everyone. In 2006, I began writing lesson plans that would teach selection, storage, and simple preparations for fruits and vegetables with fun, engaging activities. The lessons were designed to increase fruit and vegetable consumption. We hit a roadblock on classroom food safety, though. Next slide. Using a hands-on learning method with food samples, how do you model food safety in a 30-minute nutrition lesson? Children are mesmerized by flowing water, so how could we get them to engage in quicker yet good quality technique recommended by the CDC? Beth Ann Wilson came up with the original assembly line concept, and I applied control theory to flesh out our freestanding hand washing lesson plan. In control theory, quality lessons need to meet basic human needs: love, power, freedom, fun, and/or survival. Academic benchmarks and related engaging activities were found or developed that we think addressed all of these needs. With the high-speed hand washing technique, students in a classroom can all wash their hands properly in 5 minutes or less, allowing us to model this very important food safety practice in all of our nutrition lessons. We found it necessary to use a full 30-minute lesson to introduce or reinforce high-speed hand washing at the beginning of any nutrition series. Once students learned why it was important and how to lather up, they learned or reviewed and practiced that technique. A second grade class of 28 students holds the record of 2 minutes and 28 seconds for the fastest and still effective. Next slide. After the short educational component of the lesson, we worked with classroom teachers to form small groups. If nutrition educators are using the black light for self-assessment in the basic lesson, the first group of students go to the station staffed by the classroom teacher and rub on some special lotion that glows in the black light. Then they check to see what it looks like in that light. Then they go to the sink, and the next group reports to the lotion station. At the sink, which is staffed by the nutrition educator, students line up single file. The first student wets their hands, then moves one step sideways to shake off the excess water in the sink. The educator gives the student a squirt of liquid soap, then sends them to the end of the line. The educator slowly chants to a cadence to break their trance at the sink: wet, shake, soap, end of the line. And this speeds up as the students practice later on. While in line, the students lather up. By the time they reach the sink, they've been lathering for at least 20 seconds. Students need coaching again, this time to rinse quickly. The educator hands them a paper towel to dry their hands. The students proceed to the black light to view the results. Students are praised and then receive a sticker or other food reward, non-food reward, I'm sorry. This part of the first lesson will probably take an average classroom about 20 minutes. Nutrition educators need to issue a challenge to improve each day until the class can get their hands washed in 5 minutes or less. We also used a low-cost alternative for the expensive black light by having students assess each other's lather while moving up in the line. So the cost of this lesson is really low. Really, we need to have one plain liquid soap in a pump bottle per classroom and not the antibacterial type. Paper towels may be needed because classrooms sometimes run out of those while you're in the middle of this. You may want to purchase or borrow a Glitter Buddy type kit, hand washing storybooks for Head Start, preschool and primary classrooms, or some timers or a timer. Sometimes they're on their phones. Costs have been covered by SNAP-Ed for eligible classes or groups. Next slide. We found that high-speed hand washing works. In a 2-year average, our 4th grade survey respondents trained in high-speed hand washing and participating in our nutrition education series showed 82% improved or already were at best practice washing their hands before they touched or ate food. During a flu outbreak in our area where the school had a 50% absentee rate for several days, one classroom had 100% attendance. The teacher attributed this success to high-speed hand washing and washing tables and doorknobs in the classroom with sanitizing solution. Our regional Head Start program reported that preschoolers can learn high-speed hand washing. It just takes 2 weeks of practice. Nevada Extension is using high-speed hand washing to fulfill mandatory requirements to reduce illness in preschool settings. In and outside of Oregon, we know that cooperative extension programs are using high-speed hand washing in classrooms and summer programming. Kansas State Extension has even produced a training video that you can find on YouTube. Several Native American tribal communities have adopted it for adult and youth education events. High-speed hand washing jumped into the commercial setting this year. Workers tested and liked using high-speed hand washing at a food processing plant. Management adopted it to use at the beginning of shifts and after breaks for quality assurance. Globally, we've received reports that high-speed hand washing is being used in Malawi in a medical clinic setting and Cambodia by a Peace Corps volunteer for youth food safety and water conservation lessons. If you're using high-speed hand washing, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for the invitation to share our food safety story on Global Hand Washing Day.
What is the key to preparing and eating safe, yummy meals? Keeping a clean scene. You can't see, smell, or taste the germs that cause illness. People trained in cleaning and sanitizing are the foundation for safe food production and processing. From food production plants to your home, everyone in the process of making food has an important role to play in food safety. People trained in cleaning and sanitizing are critical in safe food production and processing. Cleaning removes soils from surfaces, while sanitizing greatly lowers the amount of germs on surfaces. Wherever food is cut, chopped, packaged, or canned, these surfaces must be cleaned and sanitized. At the grocery store, associates clean and sanitize all surfaces foods contact, even in back rooms that you don't see. What can you do to keep a clean scene at home? A clean scene always starts with clean hands, especially before preparing a recipe, after handling raw meat, poultry, or eggs, after using the bathroom or changing diapers, and after using your smartphone or touching your pet. A recent USDA study showed that just 1% of us wash our hands correctly. We can do better than that. Start by wetting your hands with water and apply soap. Lather your hands, including under nails, for 20 seconds. Rinse your hands and dry with a clean towel. Drying is key because germs grow best on wet hands. On to food prep surfaces. Wipe down your kitchen counters with hot soapy water and wash cutting boards, utensils, and serving plates after they touch raw meats, poultry, seafood, or eggs. Dish towels and sponges may have the most germs out of any object in your kitchen. Wash towels in hot water often. Some germs like to hang out on your fresh fruit and vegetables. Rinse them under running water and dry with a clean towel. What's something you don't need to rinse? Raw meat. Rinsing poultry or meat before cooking spreads germs around your sink and countertops. Yuck! Food safety is a team effort. Keep a clean scene at home and don't let germs ruin your dinner. Find out more about a clean kitchen at fightbac.org and storyofyourdinner.org.
So I hope you'll consider sharing the Keeping a Clean Scene video. It is something we're very pleased about, and as said, it's in English and in Spanish. So watch our social media, go to storyofyourdinner.org, and you can access the video. It is on our YouTube channel. I want to again reinforce some of what you've been hearing today, and that is that we're a community here that's sharing great free resources to promote hand washing. One of the exciting things we've been working on, and that has gotten a lot of support from people who develop recipes, is something called the Safe Recipe Style Guide. And our title, First We Wash Our Hands, comes from this, that before we cook, first we wash our hands, always. So we've now built washing hands with soap and water into recipes with the Safe Recipe Style Guide. And as you see, it's not just what you do at the start of a recipe, but depending on the ingredients you're handling and the preparation techniques, you might have to wash your hands multiple times during preparing a recipe. So check out the saferecipeguide.org. It's anyone who develops recipes can use it. If you are a recipe holder or developer, you have a cookbook, you have a blog, check it out and consider making your recipes safe recipes and starting with clean hands. So we're about to move towards our wrap up. I hope you have found this as inspiring as I have, that there's a lot of great opportunities to promote hand washing and a lot of support. If you love our webinars, and I hope you'll join us before the holidays for our webinar on safe baking. It's gonna taste good and smell good and be educational, so please join us on November 19th. Hold the date for that, and you'll get an email about it. The work we do is made possible by partners who help make the nonprofit partnership work through their annual contributions. And I wanted to call out our Tier 2 partners, PFSE partners today, who do so much to make our work possible. Cargill, the FMI Foundation, NSF International, the Produce Marketing Association, and Tyson Foods. Thank you so much for your support. We have now, next slide, more than 30 partners in the partnership. Many companies you've heard of, major brands, and also the associations that are really active in the food industry that house some of the experts on food safety in the various commodities. So thanks to all of you for your support, and thank you to our government liaisons also for their ongoing engagement in this work. A final reminder that your CEU certificate can be gotten by looking in your follow-up email and then or downloading it at fightback.org under events and webinar recordings. Our recorded webinars generally go up very quickly. So thank you for checking that out. We're not able to answer all your emails, but you'll find it there. We're pretty consistent. They're all there. I want to thank all the speakers who helped out with today. We wanted to create a really fun event, and we really want your feedback on what you thought of the new Zoom platform. We want to be using it for future events. Thank you to Dr. Mindy Brashears, Ashley Andújar, Dr. David Berendes, Glenda Hyde. I'm Shelley Feist, and to the students in Georgia and in Washington, D.C., who let us in on their lessons on safe food handling and hand hygiene. Thanks to all of you for joining us, and catch us next time for the baking webinar in November. Thanks. Bye-bye.